true crime. Toes for 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 true crime.
Welcome to Turning Over Every Stone. You can call me Toes. Today I'd like to talk about a few different things that's on my mind. Been sitting there thinking, and with this Idaho case, things can be redundant, you know, an echo chamber, and trying not to be that. That's why I don't release a whole bunch of footage. As far as me not wanting to show my face, you know, I really don't want the fame. I'm just here to contribute my opinions concerning this case. Well, you know, first thing I want to talk about is odds, O-D-D-S, and sorry y'all if it's a little loud. I'm over here at the falls here in Spokane, Washington. But I want to talk about odds. You know, I like to play poker, and with poker, I like poker because you have the best odds. You get to control with what's going on. In comparison to like slot machines, it's all about luck. And you know how I compare that to this Idaho situation is the whole crime scene's controlled. And you know, and it just makes me think of the odds. As I mentioned in a previous video, all four of the suspects that passed away in that house, all four of the victims that passed away in that house, they were all from northern Idaho for the most part. One of them had came from Washington, but also had a residence. His parents also had a residence in northern Idaho. If you think about it, you know, tuition for 3 students at one time would be really expensive. You would want some type of in-state tuition discount. But anyways, so yeah, I just noticed that it's just really odd that everyone that had passed away in that house were from northern Idaho, and the ones that had survived were from south of Moscow, whether it be Boise, some say Reno. I think both of them were from Boise in my opinion. I also find it odd that the 2 surviving roommates were both freshmen. So technically they shouldn't have even really been living in that house. I looked up the rules and I'll post them here. But you know, it's like this crime happened in November, and it would have still been, you know, pretty early in the year. I always wondered what was the arrangements for moving in that house. Who did you pay your rent to? How did you find out? How do you find out if there was a room available? Was it you got to know someone to know someone, and was it posted somewhere? You know, I'm just curious about these questions, but I'm really more or less curious on how did these freshmen end up in this house so early in the year? Who did they know? You know, another thing I'd like to talk about is I kind of compare this tragedy to 9/11. This tragedy reminds me of 9/11 in the sense of the government played this role like, oh, nothing really to see here. The way that they demolished the World Trade Center and got rid of all that debris, I heard a lot of it just got sent to China like real quick. None of it was really fully investigated. And then before you know it, you got these items that were built in place of it that are supposed to be memorial towers, but you know, it's big business out here, y'all. And out here in this region, the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Pullman, Moscow, You got whole entire neighborhoods that are being constructed in a blink of an eye. The housing availability is about 1% out here. And you know, with that house, I don't think it was maximizing on its square footage. Not just that house, but that neighborhood. Those other houses that were on King Road. Right now they're tearing down completely perfectly fine neighborhoods and building up apartments that are 10 stories high, where you could once fit 6 people in a house. Now you can fit 60 to 600. So, you know, just keep that in mind. It's big business out here. And excuse me, I'm looking at my notes. I had to take notes because I get scattered brain sometimes. But another thing I want to highlight is the intricacy of this crime. You know, that's what has the world so stunned. Thousands upon thousands of people have dissected this crime, and we just still can't seem to figure it out. So that lets me know that there's a level of intricacy. You know, we all understand drug deals and drug deals gone bad. We all understand fight clubs and, you know, and accidents happening, but I don't think that's what we're seeing here. You know, I would say that the majority of us here are not millionaires. Most of us here are probably hardworking people, you know, that live a, you know, pretty basic, comfortable life. But like I said, there's big business and big money going on here, and millionaires and billionaires have different problems than you and I have, and they conduct their business in different ways. There's gangsterism on all different type of levels. It's not just on a street level where you got Bloods and Crips and essays. But you know, I just want to highlight that there's a lot of money coming through this region right now. Big money grab out here, property, real estate. It's a different world out here now. One of the last things I do want to talk about, and I want to say it was Mama D that brought it up during a live. I want to say it was on Tommy's channel, but she had talked about the glorification of gore and murder, and I agree with her. I've seen plenty of pictures of these young kids dressing up, you know, with bloody costumes, knives in hands. I even have a screenshot of one of Kaylee's comments she left on a Google review for the Mad Greek restaurant. I'll show it here. But you know, you got to be careful with what you ask for and what you desire and what you think about in this world. My suggestion to the young world is focus on positivity, focus on good, because you know, you become what you think about. And I just noticed that there was, you know, it just seems like they kind of glamorize murder and gore. But everybody, I thank you for tuning in. This is Turning Over Every Stones. You can call me T.O.E.S, and we're out.